fresh NFL rumors just for you after week 3, heading into week 4 of the 2025 NFL season. Welcome in, football fans, to NFL Daily by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's show, has Daniel Jones redeemed his career? Is this the redemption arc that we've been waiting for? Trey Hendrickson, is he on the way to the 49ers? We'll talk about that as well. And of course, everybody's favorite wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., is he back in action? We're going to break down every single news story, or rumor story in this case, on today's show. And if you want your team to get a W this week, whatever team that may be, hit that thumbs up icon. Don't be the guy that jinxes it. Don't be the one that's like, that has nothing to do with it, because if your team loses and you didn't like the video, it's your fault. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's talk about Indiana Jones. Dun, da, da, dun, 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 dun. Daniel Jones has been incredible over 3 weeks. And granted, it is 3 weeks. So I'm not saying that he's ready for a Geno Smith or a Baker Mayfield type of redemption, but through 3 weeks, he looks like one of the NFL's best. And the stats back that up. A 71% completion percentage, 816 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a passer rating of 111.7. And I think what Shane Steichen has done with Daniel Jones is one of 2 things. One, he simplified the game for him, right? He made everything just much easier. We're going to go back to the basics. Hit your back foot, release the football. Rather than try to do all of this pre-snap motion and scramble outside of the pocket. No. Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones, has simplified the game, or Shane Steichen has simplified the game for Daniel Jones. And I think a main reason for that is their use of play action. One of the highest, by the way, in the NFL. 37.8% of plays through 3 weeks have been play action for the Colts. And I think a play action can be a quarterback's best friend, especially if you have a good offensive line. They also have Jonathan Taylor, so obviously defense is biting on the run fake, helps out tremendously. So with that, Daniel Jones is able to get outside or stay in the pocket, and everything just opens up dramatically. The scheme is perfect for his skill set. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's going to deliver the ball on time, on target, and accurately. And the wins are piling up. Against the Dolphins, blowout W week 1. A little bit shaking, a little bit on ice there with the Denver Broncos, but they were able to squeak out a win after that leveraging penalty in week 2, and then they completely dominated the division rival Tennessee Titans. And I think Adam Schefter kind of gives us all fans kind of our same thoughts about Daniel Jones with this one specific quote that he had to say. It feels like Daniel Jones is on that same trajectory talking about Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield. Getting another chance in another city with another imaginative, creative, progressive thinking head coach in Shane Steichen. They turned Daniel Jones into the newest and best reclamation project in the NFL. They salvaged his career. I don't want to go too far. I still think it's a little early to call this a redemption, and I still think it's a little early to say he's salvaged his career, but it certainly helps having Jonathan Taylor and a great offensive line, because now the pressure is completely off of Daniel Jones. All he has to do is play point guard, and that's what he's doing unbelievably. And that's a good thing. I'm not even saying that he's game managing. He's just delivering the ball quickly to his playmakers, which, call me crazy, I think a quarterback should do more often. So did Daniel Jones save his career in Indianapolis? Yes or no? I think it's a little too early to say it, but he's certainly on the right path. Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. Now let's move on to a trade rumor. Trey Hendrickson. I know he just signed that extension with the Cincinnati Bengals. Have you seen their season? They're going to be punting very shortly. Joe Burrow is out for 3 months. They got absolutely dominated by the Minnesota Vikings, 48-10. And coming up next, I'm going to tell you why the 49ers might make the call and make the move to get the star pass rusher. Now, before I do that, I'm going to tell you about our friends over at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day. But on Prize Picks, Being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season with Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. It's very simple to play. Just pick 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and the more or less on those players, and then boom, you're ready to go. You can win up to 2,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Here's what my lineup looks like this week. Jalen Hurts is my max discount play, more than half a passing yard. Duh. Then I took Jahmyr Gibbs on the more of a rushing or receiving touchdown, followed by Drake London, who I believe will find the end zone for the first time this week against the Washington Commanders. Your lineup can look just like this, but it doesn't have to. It can look whatever way you want. All you have to do is download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, let's talk really quickly about Nick Bosa. What? I thought we were talking about Trey Hendrickson. Trust me, it all bleeds in. Bosa tore his ACL in week 3. He's the best pass rusher on the 49ers, and he is a hell of a player. He's done for the year. Now, the 49ers, who sit comfortably at 3-0, have a decision to make. Because the question is now, do you go out and try to make a move for a star pass rusher, believing that you are in contention for a Super Bowl once again? And I think Kyle Shanahan, with his unbelievable play calling, is absolutely in contention for that. However, right now without Brock Purdy and having a favorable schedule, it could be one of those things where you're like, offensively we're fine, but we need to go out there and make a move. And here's why Trey Hendrickson makes sense. The Cincinnati Bengals are this close to blowing it all up. Joe Burrow is out for 3 months with a toe injury. I mean, they're not favored in their next 11 games. The next time that they're favored, believe it or not, even with Jake Browning as their backup, is against the Miami Dolphins, and that's like week 15 for the Bengals. So they need a complete overhaul outside of the quarterback and wide receiver position. And Trey Hendrickson has been an absolute stud so far through 3 games. 7 tackles, 2 for loss, 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, so he's getting pressure regardless, and a PFF grade of 83. If you're not familiar with PFF, that's unbelievable. Like, it's really, really elite. Trey Hendrickson is a dog. Plain and simple. And without Nick Bosa, the 49ers are missing a significant pass rusher. So, you call him up, you say, we're going all in, we give up some draft capital, and Trey Hendrickson, you are on your way to the Bay Area. Here's why I think it makes perfect sense for the 49ers. They're 3-0 and looking to buy at the deadline. I think that's pretty easy. I think we all agree that this is probably the smartest move the 49ers could definitely make. And I've got a trade for you that makes it make sense. Makes it make sense. There we go. I got that out there correctly. But before I do that, let me tell you about what Bengals Sports Illustrated had to say about this Trey Hendrickson trade. Dealing Hendrickson now could be a way to get valuable draft capital immediately instead of doing the franchise tag dance again or waiting for compensation picks down the line. There's another reporter for ESPN. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that name. There you go. Laid out the deal he made below between the two teams, including the Bengals' possibility of landing the premium or 3 premium picks, for the soon-to-be 31-year-old. Here's what that trade idea looks like. The Bengals receive 2026 first-round picks, so they get a first, they get a 2026 third, and a 2027 second-round pick. So a first, a second, and a third-round pick, and the 49ers receive $30 million a year. Trey Hendrickson. Honestly, if I'm the Bengals, I'm making this pick. You guys need to draft offensive linemen over and over and over again. Somebody to protect Joe Burrow. So would you make this trade? Let me know. Type T for trade or type P for pass. I'm doing it. I think you could probably squeeze out another high draft pick, maybe another second instead of that third. But if this was the package, I'd make the move in a heartbeat. All right, let's talk very briefly our last rumor. Odell Beckham Jr., is he making a comeback to the NFL? My answer should be no, he shouldn't come back, but not according to Odell. In fact, Odell has said that he wants to come back and he's feeling better than he ever has. But what team would bite on OBJ? Not many. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Older, not the same player, big name, a lot of noise surrounding it. Although there is one team that I think is desperate for any wide receiver help that they can get, and that's the Jets, the GD Jets, if you will. And the Jets only have Garrett Wilson. I mean, literally, that's it. Everybody else is just pick your suck. I mean, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, past his prime. Everybody else in that wide receiver room just isn't good enough. And the stats back that up. Garrett Wilson is miles ahead of their next wide receiver, Tyler Johnson. This is insane. Like, your second leading wide receiver has 4 receptions. Now, granted, Justin Fields doesn't necessarily make a bunch of reads. He's more of a one-read kind of quarterback. But the point remains the same. The Jets need all of the help. All of it. So, could OBJ come in and at least offer some sort of reliance? Yeah, maybe. And here is what Odell Beckham Jr. said about where he's at with his NFL journey. Retiring isn't happening. This is his words, by the way. I just came from the gym. This is the first time in a long time that I can pop out of bed, or if a dog was about to chase me, I could take off running. Odd way to phrase that, but all right. I'm good. And I know I could play in the league right now. I'm not looking to be someone's number 1 wide receiver and get 15 targets. I know the game, bro. I get how it goes. I just want to play ball on a good team where I have a role, where I've got 5, 6, 7 plays, where I get the chance to catch. At least he understands that he's no longer a number 1 option, and that's fine. But here is the sad reality. I got news for you, my guy. If you want to play ball for a good team, the Jets are not that. But it might be the only chance that you have. So do you want to play, or do you want to play for a good team? Because the truth is, the Jets might only be, or in fact, right now, I don't know anybody else that's in the OBJ market, might be your only shot. So should the Jets sign Odell Beckham Jr.? Type S for sign or type I for ignore. At this point, why not? It's the Jets. You need all the help you can get. So sign him, get him on a veteran minimum, and let him play a couple more games and then retire peacefully. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you want your team to win this week. And as always, NFL fans, be cool.